Well, we started last night at the beginning of Elisha's ministry.
我们昨天晚上一开始是从以利沙的事工的起头开始，
And we're going to conclude this night at the end of Elisha's ministry.
而今天晚上的结尾将是以利沙事工的结束。
And in the course of doing that,
而要做这个事情的时候，
we're going to see three things.
我们会看到三件事。
We're going to see something that's sad,
我们看到有悲哀的，
and then we're going to see something that's strange.
我们看到有诡异的，
But it's not the strangest thing,
不，还不是最诡异的，
because after the strange thing, then we're going to see the strangest thing.
因为我们在看到诡异的事情之后，我们才要看到最诡异的事。
And through the course of that,
然后在这个过程当中，
we will say goodbye to Elisha.
我们就跟以利沙告别。
So turn to 2 Kings chapter 13.
所以，请大家翻到列王记下的第13章。
When we come to the death of Elisha,
所以要来到以利沙的死，
he has been the prophet in Israel for over 60 years.
他已经担任以色列的先知超过60年的时间。
Elijah was only prophet for 10 or 12 years.
以利亚大概只做了10到12年的先知，
But for over 60 years, Elisha has been the prophet.
而以利沙呢，先知的职位却做了超过60年。
And we need to know that because it's very important in understanding what happens.
那么我们必须要先了解这个背景，因为这个很重要。
Now, when I was 11 years old,
当我11岁的时候，
in November of 1963,
在11月的1963年，
if you do the math real quick, you'll figure out how old I am.
所以1963年让你算一算，你就知道我大概有多老了。
In November of 1963, I was 11 years old.
在1963年11月，我是11岁的时候，
I walked into my 7th grade classroom,
那么我走进我们7年级的教室，
and the teacher told us that President John Kennedy had just been assassinated.
那么我们的老师宣布告诉我们说，甘乃迪总统刚刚才被刺身亡。
That ushered in one of the longest weekends in my country's history.
那么这个之后呢，是美国历史上最漫长的一个周末，
It just seemed like the entire world had turned gray.
好像整个世界都变成了灰暗，
Everything slowed down.
所有的事情都慢了下来，
Everything was sad and somber.
一切都是这么的忧伤，令人沮丧。
Throughout the news reports,
所有的新闻报道、
the funeral,
丧礼，
the processional to the cemetery,
那么这个送葬的队伍，
everything about it felt burdensome.
那么一切都让人感到这么的沉重。
And it felt that way not just for me as an 11-year-old boy.
这个队伍当时不只是我这个11岁的小孩，
It felt that way nationally.
这是全国都这样子的感觉。
This was a very dark time
这是一个非常黑暗的时期，
because a beloved leader had been taken away.
因为一个受人敬爱的领袖被抢走了。
Keep that in mind
那么你把这样的心思放着，
as we go into 2 Kings 13.
就是当我们在念13章的时候，
We pick up the story in verse 14.
我们从第14节开始来看。
When Elisha became sick with the illness of which he was to die,
那么以利沙得了必死的病，
Joash, the king of Israel, came down to him and wept over him.
以色列王约阿施下来看他，伏在他脸上哭泣。
And said, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen.
他说：“我父啊，我父啊，以色列的战车马兵啊！”
Now, we've talked some throughout the 2 nights
那么我们这2天我们讲了很多，
about the different contrasts between Elijah's ministry and Elisha's
我
ministry.
们提到了以利亚跟以利沙的事工的一个相对，
This gives us yet another contrast.
那这又是另外一个相对应。
I think it's safe to say that Elijah departed this world in rather spectacular fashion.
以利亚离开这个世界是非常的让人目眩神驰，
But Elisha just kind of gets sick and dies.
而以利沙很平凡，就是生病快死了。
There's just this normalcy to Elisha, whereas everything Elijah does seems bigger than life.
那么以利亚每一个事情都是非常的夸张，但是以利沙事情每一个都很平凡。
But what the two passings have in common
但是两个人的死有一个同样点，
is what is said by the person with them.
那就是让跟他一起的人非常的悲伤。
The king says, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen.
国王说：“我父啊，我父啊，以色列的战车马兵啊！”
Now, those are the exact same words we saw last night.
这是我们昨天晚上看到一模一样的一段话。
Only last night, Elisha himself was saying those words.
只是昨天说这段话的人是以利沙他自己。
And he was saying them because Elijah had been taken away.
他说这段话是因为以利亚被上帝接上天。
And we saw that the chariots represented Israel's national security and protection.
所以我们看到了所谓的战车马兵表示对以色列的保护。
And by describing Elijah as the chariots of Israel,
而当以利沙说以利亚是以色列的战车马兵，
Elisha was lamenting over the nation.
以利沙是为了整个国家来悲泣。
The nation that was now vulnerable because their protection had been taken away.
他悲伤是因为这个国家的防护现在没有了，变得非常的脆弱。
Because Elijah had been the protection for the nation.
因为以利亚一直是以色列国的防护，
Now Elisha is dying.
而现在以利沙快死了，
And it's the king who says those words.
而是以色列王说了这段话，
And that's what makes this so sad.
所以这让他感觉更悲伤。
Because it was not Elisha's job to be the national security of the nation.
因为其实以利沙的工作应该不是负责国家的防备、国防。
In ancient Israel, kings had basically 3 jobs.
那么在当时的以色列国王大概有3个工作，
One job was to serve as the primary judge between people's disagreements in the country.
第一个是当审判官，当人民有不同意见的时候，他要来审判。
One job was to administer and lead the government.
第二个就是带领整个政府，
But one job was to lead the armies.
而第三个就是要带领国家的军队。
The king was supposed to be the military leader,
所以国王其实应该是军队的元帅，
like King David had been.
就像大卫王一样。
The king was supposed to be the one responsible for protecting the nation.
所以国王的责任应该是他来保护这个国家。
But instead of accepting his responsibility to lead the nation's armies,
但是与其他接受说这是我的责任要保护国家，
the king laments the loss of Elisha
而国王却在这边悲泣以利沙即将离世，
because it's been Elisha who has been serving as the protection of the country.
因为过去这段时间是以利沙在保护这个国家。
As he makes this statement,
所以当他说了这段话，
it is a statement of hopelessness.
这一段话是表示他的绝望。
And again, as we saw earlier tonight,
而今天稍早我们看到
the root of that hopelessness
这样的一个绝望，
is that King Joash does not know God.
这关键是因为约阿施王他不知道上帝，
He does not have a relationship with God.
他跟上帝没有直接的关联。
And so, like the earlier king we saw, he has no resources outside himself.
所以就像前一个王，他在他自己以外，他没有任何的资源。
And now, in this moment of fear and weakness, he has nowhere to turn with his concerns.
所以在这一个害怕、软弱的时候，他不知道该向谁来求助，
And he didn't know the truth of the situation.
而他不了解真正实际的情况。
To understand the truth of the situation,
你要了解真正的情况，
you really have to think about Isaiah chapter 6.
你必须要去看以赛亚的第6章。
In Isaiah chapter 6, Isaiah the prophet is speaking.
在以赛亚的第6章，以赛亚说，
And as he is speaking, he says, In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated upon a throne, high and lifted up.
在以赛亚书第6章第1节，这边写到：当乌西雅王崩的那年，我见主坐在高高的宝座上。
The phrase, the year that King Uzziah died,
那么这边提到乌西雅王崩的那一年，
parallels to Elisha having an illness from which he's about to die.
那么这边跟相对于就是以利沙生病也快要死了。
Elisha has been prophet for over 60 years.
以利沙已经担任以色列的先知超过60年，
And that 60 years has produced a measure of stability in the country.
这60年为国家带来相当的稳定。
In the same way,
而一样的方式，
King Uzziah ruled on the throne for over 50 years.
乌西亚王在王位上坐了50年以上，
And aside from the rule of Solomon,
而除了所罗门王以外，
the rule of Uzziah was the greatest period of peace and prosperity ancient Israel ever knew.
以乌西亚王统治的时期是以色列国内最繁盛、最强权的时候。
And now Uzziah has died.
而现在乌西亚王死了，
And in that death comes a lament from the people.
而在这个王死了之后，当然人民非常的悲痛。
What are we going to do now?
我们再来该怎么办？
What's going to happen now?
再来会发生什么样的事情？
Who's going to take care of us now?
谁要来带领我们？
The king had been there for over 50 years.
王已经在王位上超过50年。
Most of the citizens of Israel had known an entire lifetime under his rule,
大部分以色列人当时一辈子可能都是被这个王所统治，
with life being very good.
而这一段日子是个非常好的日子。
And now there's uncertainty and confusion.
而现在呢，不确定性出现，
Now there's uneasiness and despair.
很多的这个担心跟绝望出现。
John Kennedy was only president for 3 years,
甘乃迪当总统只有当了3年，
and his death sent our nation into a tailspin.
而他的死让整个国家陷入一个空转
You know tailspin?
，tailspin 旋转绕。
Uzziah had been king for over 50 years.
而乌西亚王当王已经超过50年，
And so we understand why the people would be upset and concerned at his death.
所以我们了解为什么以色列人民非常担忧、关切他的死。
But Isaiah looks higher than the king in his throne.
但是以赛亚看到却比王位是更高的地方。
The human throne of Israel was empty,
人类的国王的王位已经是空了，
but the heavenly throne of Israel's God was not empty.
但是以色列在天堂的王的座位并不是空的。
The whole point of Isaiah 6 is this:
以赛亚书第6章强调的是，
Uzziah had died,
乌西亚王死了，
but God was alive.
但上帝是活的。
Our confidence is supposed to be in God, not in men.
我们的信心是仰望上帝，不是仰望人。
We respect human government,
我们尊重人类的政府，
but we do not put our confidence in human
但
government.
我们不是完全的信赖人类的政府。
We put our confidence in the living God.
我们的信靠在于我们永活的神。
The psalmist said, "Some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we trust in the Lord our God."
所以诗篇说，有人在意军马，有人在意这个军队，但是我们却信靠我们的主耶，我们的神，我们的上帝。
And here's the great sadness of 2 Kings 13.
所以在列王记下第13章这里的悲哀，
When King Uzziah died in Isaiah 6,
当以赛亚书第6章乌西亚王死了，
Isaiah could look to God for help.
以赛亚可以仰望天来寻求帮助，
But Joash has nowhere to turn.
但约阿施却不知道该看哪里，
And the nation of Israel's in big trouble
而以色列国遇到了大麻烦，
because they have forsaken their God.
因为他们背弃了神。
The death of a great leader will always be a sad thing.
那么，一个伟大的领袖的过世，总是一句悲哀的事情。
But when you have a future without hope, sadness becomes tragedy.
而未来如果没有希望，那悲哀就变成了悲剧。
So that's the sad part.
所以这是他悲哀的一面。
Now comes the strange part.
而再来是他奇怪诡异的一面。
It's not the strangest part,
这不是最诡异的，
but it's pretty strange.
但是蛮怪的。
Now, I want you to read, and you can lead them if you want to. I want you to read verses 15 through 19.
所以我们一起来念列王记下13章，我们来看15节到19节。15节到19节，找到我们一起来念，请。 以利沙对他说：“你取弓箭来。”王就取了弓箭来，又对以色列王说：“你用手拿弓。”王就用手拿弓。以利沙按手在王的手上，说：“你开朝东的窗户。”他就开了。以利沙说：“射箭吧。”他就射箭。以利沙说：“这是耶和华的得胜箭，就是战胜亚兰人的箭，因为你必在雅弗攻打亚兰人，直到灭尽他们。”以利沙又说：“取几支箭来。”他就取了来。以利沙说：“打地吧。”他打了3次，便止住了。神人向他发怒，说：“应当击打5、6次，就能攻打亚兰人，直到灭尽。现在只能打败亚兰人3次。”
That was very nice.
他很喜欢听我们念这样的圣经。
Now, this is a very strange thing that's happening here.
好，所以这里发生一件非常诡异的事情。
And it happens in 2 stages.
这里发生了2个阶段。
The strange stage and the stranger stage.
诡异的阶段跟更诡异的阶段。
The strangest is yet to come.
还没有到最诡异哦。
The strange stage.
那么诡异的阶段。
As the king is lamenting the fact that Elisha is dying.
那么王在那边哭喊说：“这个先知快要死了。”
Elisha tells him to take a bow and arrow.
以利沙跟他讲说：“你拿一件弓箭来。”
And to turn toward the east where their enemy Syria is.
然后你打开朝东，那么东呢就是叙利亚的所在。
And Elisha puts his hands on the king's hands as he's holding the bow and arrow.
而以利沙呢就按手在王的手上。
And Elisha said, "Shoot."
以利沙说：“你射箭吧。”
And he shot.
他就射箭。
And he said, "The Lord's arrow of victory."
以利沙说：“这是耶和华的得胜箭。”
Now, in our world, we don't have a parallel for this.
那么在我们现在的社会，我们没有一个类似这样的一个行为。
But the prophet's hands on the king's hand is a symbol of God's blessing the activity of those hands.
但是当时先知的手放在国王的手，是代表上帝的祝福在这个事情上。
And when nations would get ready to go to war with each other,
当2个国家准备要开战的时候，
they would amass their armies.
他会准备好他们的军队，
All the preparations would be made.
一切所有的准备做好，
Everything would be set in order.
那么一切都已经排列好。
And then when you were ready to begin fighting the battle,
当你准备要开战，
you would launch one arrow as a signal to the other army that you're ready to fight.
那么你会射一支箭来告诉对方说准备要打仗。
Now that seems strange to us
这个对我们来说可能很奇怪，
because when we get ready to fight, we just fight.
因为我们会觉得要打那就开战吧，就打啊，
We don't have all this ceremony to go around it.
何必还需要这样的仪式来开始？
But it's the next part of it that's so odd.
但是下一段就更奇怪。
Elisha says to the king, "Take the arrows."
以利沙对国王说：“拿起剑来。”
And he said to the king, "Strike the ground."
以利沙说：“打地吧。”
And he struck the ground 3 times.
他打了3次。
And Elisha was angry with him
神人向他发怒，
and said, "You should have struck 5 or 6 times."
他说：“你应该打个5、6次。”
Now, I just got all kinds of problems with
我
this.
真的又觉得很困难。
Let me ask you a question.
我问你一个问题，
It's not a trick
这
question.
个不是要害你们，
I'm not trying to trick you and make you look foolish.
我不是要让你们感觉到难堪。
Did Elisha tell him to take the arrows?
那么以利沙是不是叫他取剑来？是不是 ？Yes。
Okay, 4 of you think he did.
那么你觉得 ？You mean how many arrow？
No, I was joking with that. He said, "Take the arrows." He took the arrows.
所以他说取剑，那国王就取剑。
He told him to strike the ground. He struck the ground.
他说打地吧，他就打地啊。
Not only did he strike the ground, he struck it 3 times.
他不是打了地，他打了3次啊。
Now, it seems to me
就我来说，
that even if he had only struck the ground once, he would have been obedient.
就算他只打第一次，他都还蛮听话的啊。
So why is Elisha getting mad at him?
我说为什么以利沙神人要发怒呢？
He did exactly what he was told to do and more besides.
他已经按照他所做的事，并且他还多打了几次。
So why is Elisha so angry?
所以为什么以利沙这么的生气？
We don't know.
我们不知道。
Scholars have all kinds of theories and speculation and all this kind of stuff, but the simple truth is we don't know what's going on here, and that drives me crazy.
圣经学者有各种的猜测，各种的说法，但是结论是我们真的不知道到底为什么，所以这让我感觉非常的愤怒。
Fanu?
就 crazy.
Yeah, I got that part. Here's what we need to understand.
这是我们需要了解的。
And this is a very important idea for when you read the Bible.
所以这是在你读圣经的时候非常重要的一个概念。
The Bible was written to a particular audience at a particular time in history in a particular cultural construct.
圣经主要是写给一个特定的对象，有特定的文化，有特定的习俗，在一个特定的时间。
And so as the story is being told to the people of that day,
所以当这个故事在当时被拿出来讲的时候，
they have a lot of background information to inform how they hear the story.
当时人有很多的背景，他们了解来怎么去解读这个故事。
And so because of that,
所以因为那样子，
sometimes
有些时候，
there are things that are left unsaid.
所以有些事情他们就没有完全写完。
Why are they left unsaid?
为什么不用写完？
Well, because they don't have to say them.
因为不需要写啊。
They don't have to say them because the people already know that
他
part.
不需要写，是因为当时的人都已经知道了，
So they don't have to tell them what they already know.
所以不需要写那些他们已经知道的事情。
What I am suggesting to you
而我在这边建议你们的是，
is that there was apparently some kind of pre-war ritual
所以这里应该是一种战争前的仪式，
that involved appealing for God's intervention in the coming conflict.
而这个当中包括就寻求上帝的元首在未来即将发生的战争中。
And somehow the request for God's blessing
那么有时候是寻求上帝的祝福，
was acted out
那么需要用行为表达出来，
by striking arrows to the ground.
就像在打第几次。
Now, he doesn't tell us that.
那么当然这里并没有写出来，
But the people who would have been hearing this story told in the first telling would have already understood that.
但是当时第一次看到这个故事的人都已经知道这是怎么一回事，
They would have said, "Oh yeah, this is why he's doing that. We know what's going on here."
他们知道哦，这是为什么他这么做，因为我们了解本来就是这样啊。
But we don't know what's going on there
但我们这些现在的人就不了解了，
because we don't have access to that information.
因为我们并没有当时所拥有的资讯，
Now, here's the problem.
所以这是这个问题。
And it's a problem that can easily get us off track when we're reading the Bible.
那么这样的问题很容易让我们在读圣经的时候偏离掉，
And it's this.
就是这个。
When we come to a text like this,
当我们阅读到这样的一段经文，
and there are things that are left unsaid,
那么有些事情好像没有写完，
our tendency is to fill in the blanks
我们经常就会自己把它填满。
of what was unsaid about their culture
那么在他们的文化当中所没有描述的，
with things from our own culture.
而我们是用现在的文化把它放进去里面，
And automatically we move away from the truth of the story
而这样子下去的话，我们会离事情的真相是越来越远。
because the context for this story is not 21st century Taiwan.
因为当时这个故事写的一个状态，并不是21世纪的台湾，
In a highly technological environment
我们是一个高科技的环境。
where warfare is waged in a totally different way.
那么打仗的话，一定不是用这样的方式，
But we take ideas from our culture and we import it into the place where things are left unsaid.
但是我们用我们对于这些事情的理解跟概念，把它放到这里面那些我们觉得他没有写出来的地方，
And it causes us great misunderstanding of the text.
这就让我们很容易的对圣经造成很大的误解。
When you're studying a passage
所以当你在阅读经文的时候，
and you come across one of these things that is left unsaid,
所以你遇到了有一些事情好像没有说完，
be very careful
请你非常的小心，
because people can go the wrong direction very, very easily
因为你很容易就会走岔路，
just by making assumptions
就是因为我们做了自己不该有的假设，
that do not connect to the biblical text.
而这个假设并没有真正能够回应到现今的圣经的状态。
So this little part of the story
所以这一边的这个故事，
really isn't very important to us in our generation,
所以其实不是对我们现在的状态很重要，
except as a warning about how we read the Bible,
顶多就是让我们了解读圣经要哪些你要注意的事情，
because we need to read carefully
因为我们必须要很小心的来解析。
and use resources that can guide our thinking properly.
那么用适当的资源来帮助我们能够正确的思考。
We don't know what was happening here,
我们不知道这里到底发生了什么事情，
but we know Elisha was pretty angry about it.
但我们真的知道以利沙好像很火大，
So whatever the king did wrong, it was really bad.
所以到底国王做出什么我们不知道，但是应该就是很糟的事情。
And apparently the reason why Elisha is angry
而明显的以利沙之所以生气，
is because the nation is going to pay the price for the
是因-
king's problem.
是因为国家会因为国王的错误而付出代价。
Now we come to the strangest thing in the Old Testament.
那么我们接着来到旧约里面最诡异的事情，
And I love this kind of stuff.
我超爱这种事情。
I'm kind of weird
我是一个-
anyway.
我是一个怪怪的人，
So I kind of am attracted to weird stuff.
我一向很喜欢那种怪怪的事情。
Except for my wife. There's nothing weird about my wife.
除了我的太太，我太太一点都不怪，
She's the most normal person you could ever hope to
她
meet.
是全世界你会碰到最正常的人，
She's wonderful.
她太棒了。
I'm the weird one.
我是那个怪怪，
But that's okay because I'm willing to own my weirdness.
但是没有关系，我愿意来掌握自己的怪异。
Now I'm going to read verses 20 and 21.
所以我现在要读的是在列王记下13章的20跟21节。
And we're going to unpack it.
那么我们要来慢慢解读这一段。
It says in verse 20,
20节，
And Elisha died and they buried him.
以利沙死了，人将他埋葬。
Okay, after the word him, we have a period to end the sentence.
所以在这个他死了之后，那么有一段机会，我们来结束这一句话。
And the next sentence begins, Now the bands of the Moabites would invade the land in the spring of the year.
好，所以下一句话开始了。到了新年，有一群摩押人犯境。
In the space between those two sentences,
在这两句话的中间，
1 year transpires.
应该已经过了1年了。
Now I'm going to prove it to you in a minute, but right now I'm just going to ask you to trust me.
那么我等一下会证明，不过你现在先相信我。
1 year lands in that space.
这个据点的中间过了1年，
Okay? So the bands of the Moabites would invade the land in the spring of the year.
那么有一群摩押人在新年犯境，
And as they were burying a man,
有人正在葬死人，
behold, they saw a marauding band.
忽然看见了一群人，
And they cast the man into the grave of Elisha.
就把死人抛在以利沙的坟墓里。
And when the man touched Elisha's bones, he revived and stood upon his feet.
一碰着以利沙的骸骨，死人就复活站起来了。
Now, by any definition, this is really weird.
那从任何的角度来看，这都是超级诡异的事情。
But the more you start picking it apart, the weirder it gets.
但是你越仔细的看它，这个事情就越更诡异。
Notice it says in verse 21,
请注意到21节，
as they were burying a man.
那么有人正在葬死人，
Who are they?
这些人是谁啊？
We don't know.
我们不知道。
It's just a group of guys carrying a dead body to go to the burial site.
那就是反正有一群人带着一个尸体，准备要去墓地，
They were burying a man.
所以他们要埋葬一个死人。
Who was the man?
那这个死人是谁啊？
We don't know.
我们还是不知道。
So you have this nameless group carrying the dead body of this nameless guy.
所以我们有一群无名的人士带着一个无名的尸体，
And as they are coming,
而当他们过来的时候，走过来的时候，
there's an area of caves.
那么有一些地方有很多的洞穴。
Now the text doesn't tell us that, but we know that from history.
那么 圣经并没有在这里讲，但是从历史我们知道，
Because part of the burial process is that the initial burial of a dead body would usually be in a cave.
那么就是以色列人他们在埋葬的时候是把它放在一个洞穴里，
And so they come to the grave of Elisha
所以他们来到了以利沙的墓穴之前，
and they throw the body into the grave.
他们就把死人抛在以利沙的坟墓里，
And when his body touches Elisha's
而
bones,
这个死人的尸体如果一碰到了以利沙的骸骨，
he comes back to life.
他复活了。
Now, let me prove to you it's been a year since Elisha died.
好，现在要证明这是以利沙死后1年的事情。
The normal burial process in ancient Israel,
那么在古以色列正常的埋葬的方式，
and we see this especially in the New Testament in the burial of Lazarus and then the burial of the Lord Jesus.
那么特别我们在新约看到拉萨路跟耶稣的埋葬。
When a person died, they would wrap the body in cloths.
那么当一个人死的时候，他们会用裹尸布把它裹起来。
And in the wrappings, they would wrap all kinds of spices and ointments.
那么在这个裹尸的当中，他们会用各种的没药、各种的香料。
When they would put the body in the cave,
但他们把这个尸体放在洞穴里，
they would then leave the body in the cave for the space of 1 year's time.
他们会把这个尸体放在洞穴里面1年的时间。
And over the course of that year,
那么1年之后，
all the fleshy stuff would disappear.
所以大概血肉都已经会消失，
It would deteriorate and be gone.
因为它就是会腐败掉。
At the end of 1 year,
1年之后，
the family of the dead person
那么死人的这个家属
would come back to the cave.
会回来到这个洞穴
They would collect the bones.
，they kill good 啊，
They would put them in a bone box.
所以会把这些骨头放在一个放骨头的瓮
And
子
they
里
would
面，
put the bone box in a storage place with all the other bone boxes of their family.
所以会把这个骨头放在瓮里面，然后这个瓮放在所有家族放这个瓮的地方。
So how do we know it's been a year?
所以你怎么知道是已经过了1年？
Because when they throw the guy's body into the grave,
因为当他们把这个死人的尸体丢到坟墓里，
it says he touches Elisha's bones.
这边提到说他碰触到以利沙的骸骨，
Not his body, his bones.
不是他的身体，是他的骸骨，
He's been in there long enough for all this stuff to go
所
away.
以他必定要在里面够长的时间，到血肉已经不
It's
见，
time for the bone box for Elisha's bones.
差不多时间到可以捡骨了。
This is a very weird story.
这真的是一个很怪的故事，
But try to imagine as this is happening.
但是你可以想象一下它发生。
You have these men walking along carrying the body of their dead
所以
friend.
这些人带着这一个他们死掉朋友的尸体，
It's a very sad moment.
这是一个很伤心的时刻。
And as they are carrying the body of their friend,
而当他们带着朋友的尸体，
they look up in the distance and they see the Moabite attackers invading.
他们看到远处摩押的军队来了，
And they panic.
他们紧张了，
And they take the body
所以他们把尸体
and they throw it into the grave.
丢进一个坟墓里，
And they turn around and take off running back to
转身
town.
就跑了。
But before they get very far,
但是在他们跑很远之前，
their friend comes running out of the cave.
他的朋友也跑出来了，
And he says, "Hey, fellas, wait for me."
说：“等等我啊，等等我啊！”
Isn't that a crazy story?
这是一个很疯狂的故事吗？
Now, why is this in the Bible?
为什么这样的故事会写在圣经里面？
I love this stuff.
我超爱这一段的。
The writer of 2 Kings has done something very intentional here.
列王记下的作者有很刻意的写了这一段。
He has put together these 3 stories for a reason.
那么他把这些故事3个故事摆在这里是有原因的。
The story of Elisha's death.
以利沙的死，
My father, the chariots and horsemen of Israel.
我父啊，我父啊，以色列的战车马兵啊
The。despair of the king.
再来就是国王的绝望。
And then this idea of going into battle without fully seeking God's involvement because the king doesn't know God.
那么想想看，再来以色列要去战争，他们完全没有上帝的帮忙，因为国王本身不认识神。
And then the man being raised to life when his dead body touches the bones of Elisha.
然后第三个故事到这个死人的尸体碰到了以利亚的骸骨，就复活了。
Here's what I would suggest to you.
这是我建议的。
What the writer of 2 Kings is doing
列王记下的作者说，
is the same thing that Isaiah chapter 6 is doing.
这跟以赛亚书第6章意思是一样。
As Isaiah learned in Isaiah chapter 6,
那么以赛亚在第6章学习到，
Uzziah might be dead, but God isn't dead.
乌西尔王可能死了，但是上帝还在。
And what the writer of 2 Kings wants his hearers to understand
而这里列王记下的作者要你们了解的，
is that Elisha might be dead, but God isn't dead.
以利沙可能死了，但是上帝还活着。
In fact, not only is God still alive,
事实上，不只是上帝还活着，
God is so powerful
上帝是这么的大能，
and so worthy of our trust.
这么值得我们来信赖。
He is able to use a dead man to bring another dead man back to life.
他能够让一个死人去帮助另外一个死人，
And
让
so
他
the
复活。
point is, don't trust in chariots and horses, trust in God.
所以你不要去信靠那些战车马兵，你要信靠我们的神。
He is a mighty God who is worthy of our trust.
他是大能的神，值得我们全心信靠。
And he proves it
他证明了，
by raising a dead man to life using a dead man to do it.
用死人让另外一个死人复活过来。
Don't you find it a little bit funny
你不觉得这有一点好笑吗？
that Elisha's last miracle
以利沙的最后一个神迹，
he isn't even there for?
他根本就不在了，
He's dead, he's gone.
他已经死了。
He's not even present when his last miracle takes place.
他最后一个神迹发生的时候，他自己人根本不在现场，
It's just his bones.
只有骨头在而已。
And I think that is such a great, great reminder
这真的是一个非常非常棒的提醒，
because we tend to focus on the human instrument
因为我们总是会看到人当做一个器件，
when we need to focus on the God who works through human instruments.
但人只是器具，我们要看的应该是使用这些器具的神。
And by the way,
而最后，
in the last session,
在最后一个阶段，
we saw a little girl
我们看到一个前一个阶段我们看到一个小女孩，
living out the heart of Christ
她活出基督的心，
hundreds of years before Christ
在
came.
耶稣来之前几百年前。
Here,
而在这里，
we see the God of Israel
我们看到以色列的神
doing in one specific case
用一个小小的故事，
what through Jesus he will make available to the entire world.
让我们看到耶稣会成为全世界的需要，
Because Jesus died on a cross.
因为耶稣死在十字架上，
And he died on a cross to give life to dead people.
他死在十字架上，让死人能够得到生命。
God proved his love to us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us.
上帝耶稣证明了，当我们仍然是罪人的时候，他为我们而死。
He is the one whose death gives life.
他的死给我们生命，
And that's why he could say to Martha as he approached the tomb of his friend Lazarus,
所以当他到了拉萨路的墓前，他可以跟马大说
I am the resurrection and the life.
我就是生命的主，
If anyone believes in me,
我是复活的主。若你相信我，
even though they're dead, they're still alive.
虽然他死了，也必复活。
Dead people coming to life is what the gospel of Jesus Christ is all about.
那么死人复活是耶稣的福音的最重要的核心。
And here we get this little picture
而我们在这边看到这个景象，
through the life of an unnamed man
有一些我们不知道的人，
that anticipates
他们期待，
God's redemptive plan for a lost world.
那么上帝他让这一个失去的世界能够再度的浮现。
And that's why the challenge to us is so vivid.
所以这是对我们来说，为什么我们的挑战是这么的大？
We trust in God
我们要信赖上帝，
because he's the one who brings life out of death.
因为他是让人死里复活的神，
Because he's the one who has given the great sacrifice for us.
因为他是为我们做出重大牺牲的神。
because he's the one who saves.
因为他说。
And again, Elisha and Jesus,
以利沙跟耶稣，
both names mean the same thing.
他们两个名字意思是一样，
God saves.
上帝是拯救，
And he uses the death of a man
他用死掉的人
to save others and give them life.
来拯救其他的人，给他们活活的生命。
Here's what I believe.
这是我相信，
The Bible is a collection of stories,
圣经含有很多的故事，
like the 4 stories we've looked at these 2 nights.
像我们这2天所看到的4个故事，
But all of these little stories
但所有的这些故事
are pointing toward the one big story.
都指向那个最大的故事，
And the one big story is this:
而最大的故事就是
God loves this world,
上帝爱这个世界，
and he gave his son to save it.
他把他的独生子送给这个世界来救我们。
All these little stories point to that big story
所有的小故事都指向这个大故事，
because they either directly anticipate Jesus
因为不管他们是直接就提示预示了基督，
or they show us how broken we are and how much we need him.
或者让我们看到自己是多么的破碎，我们多么的需要他。
But either way,
但不管怎么样，
this story is going somewhere.
这个故事一定是我们要来看，
It's pointing forward
他看得很清楚的指向，
to the Christ who would come.
像耶稣即将来临的主。
And for those of us who live on this side of the cross and the empty tomb,
而我们这些已经到十字架这一边的空坟墓的基督徒，
we can look back
我们可以回头来看，
and we can see how the story has moved to its crescendo
我们看到这个故事是怎么样的移到最后基督
in the death and resurrection of Christ.
他的复活跟他的死跟他的复活。
And still today,
而在今天，
around the world,
在这个世界上，
at any moment,
在任何的阶段，
if a man or a woman sincerely says to God,
如果有一个人他真诚的对上帝说
God, be merciful to me, a sinner,
上帝怜悯我，我是个罪人，
and save me
救我吧，
for Jesus' sake.
为了耶稣基督的名，
God will use the death of his son to bring life to that person.
上帝就会用他儿子的死来让这个人得到生命，
Not only life for now,
不只是现在的生命，
but life forever.
是永久的生命。
And that's why the Bible calls it good news.
所以这是为什么圣经是好消息。
Thanks for being with us tonight. Let's pray.
感谢你，我们一起来祷告。
Father, thank you for the good news of Jesus.
天父，我们感谢你带来耶稣的好消息，
And thank you for giving us the scriptures,
感谢你给我们这样的圣经，
so wonderfully woven together
这么棒的连结在一起，
to move us to the story of the cross
那么感动我们能够越靠近耶稣基督的十
and
字
the
架，
victory of the resurrection,
我们看到复活的胜利，
the powerful display of your redeeming love.
你大能的呈现你不变的爱。
And Father, I pray
父亲，我在这边祷告，
at a different level
在不同的阶段，
that when we become confused and overwhelmed,
当我们有困惑，我们被压倒的时候，
that we would put our trust and our confidence in you,
我们要全然的信靠你。
that we would recognize that humans fail and humans fall,
我们了解人类的不足，人类会失败，
but you are ever and always worthy of our trust.
但你永远值得我们的信靠。
Help us to lift our eyes to the hills from whence comes our help.
帮助我们能够打开我们的眼睛，当我们需要帮忙的时候，
For truly our help comes from you,
因为我们的帮助是从你而来。
and we thank you for it.
我们感谢你，
In Jesus' name,
奉主耶稣基督的名，
amen.
阿门。